Okay, guys, I wanted to make this short video because today is the day of the Bitcoin halving. Okay, so this Bitcoin halving event, it's only the fourth event that's ever happened in Bitcoin's entire history. This is a big day. It only happens every 4 years. And as of uploading this video, okay, the halving is just about 3.5 hours away. Now, what is going to happen to Bitcoin's price during the halving? Is we're going to answer a couple of questions here, okay? First question we're going to answer is the Bitcoin halving event already priced in? The second question we're going to answer is this a sell the news event? And the third question we're going to answer is, where will Bitcoin's price end up a few days after having a few weeks? Okay, so let's kind of answer all of these questions really quickly in this video because I want you guys to be able to act on this information because the halving is coming very soon. So the first question is the Bitcoin halving already priced in? Now, Bitcoin usually doesn't run up this fast pre-halving, okay? So this was driven a lot by the institutional demand from those Bitcoin ETFs that launched in January. So it's like, now some people have said, I was watching an interview by Marathon Digital CEO Fred Thiel. Marathon Digital is the largest Bitcoin and publicly traded mining stock by market cap. And according to Fred Thiel, he thinks that we're already in an accelerated Bitcoin cycle. Now, I think that does make sense if you think that Bitcoin's price usually doesn't run up this quickly. But I also think that maybe we're underestimating the amount of demand for Bitcoin, okay? Since this is the fourth halving, a lot of people are a little bit more familiar with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is 15 years old, and I think a lot of people realize that, wow, this Bitcoin thing has unbelievably strong returns compares to other asset classes, so the demand is there. So if we're already moving forward in an accelerated cycle, what this Bitcoin halving will do will really cut the amount of daily released Bitcoin. Okay, it cuts it from 900 to 450 coins. And if this has already experienced accelerated demand, remember those ETFs just came out about 3 months ago, then we're going to see Bitcoin probably go parabolic within the next few months, especially around summertime in June or July. So I would definitely say the halving event is not priced in. Okay, and I've been taking a look at some of these technical charts like the daily RSI and things like that. The RSI looks already looks pretty low on the daily RSI, and really I don't see Bitcoin dipping that much lower because I really think it's kind of sold off a bit from its high of 73K. So I really think that Bitcoin has a lot of room to go up from here on. Okay, so I hope I kind of answered that question. The first question is the Bitcoin halving event priced in? The second question that we're going to talk about is this a sell the news event? Now, it's hard to tell, usually with these things, usually it is buy the rumor, sell the news. That Bitcoin is, like I mentioned earlier, it's already dipped below its all-time high of around 73K. And a lot of people have been accumulating. I've been accumulating Bitcoin this week. I think it's a little bit harsh to say that this is a sell the news event. Simply because a lot of things have changed, okay? And one of the things that's really changed about, I would say, Bitcoin this time around is the geopolitical landscape, okay? The attacks on, Israel from Iran and the retaliations and things like that. This has kind of changed a lot of people's, I think, perception of what's going to happen during this halving, simply because we already saw Bitcoin kind of dump once that news came out. So will it continue to dump even further? I don't know. We've already had a pretty big retrace ever since that news was launched. Remember, Bitcoin was like at 70K and now it's trading at around 73. It's now it's at around 63 or 64. So it's already retraced a little bit. But what else is interesting, and I want you guys to really think about this, the Hong Kong ETFs and the demand from Asia. I touched on this in a previous video. But those Asia ETFs were approved, okay? They were approved earlier in the week on Monday, at least sources said they were. And that's going to bring in a lot of demand that wasn't there before. But I also want to mention is that this is the first halving that takes Bitcoin's annual inflation rate below 1%. Only 450 coins are being released per day. that makes Bitcoin an extremely hard, scarce asset. Okay, so we are currently at 1.7% inflation, and then okay, every 4 years, like the halving today, Bitcoin's inflation rate is going to dip to about 0.8%, less than 1%. So Bitcoin's annual inflation rate is so low now. More than 90% of the coins have been mined. Is this really a sell the news? Are people really buying this asset to just dump it for like a quick, maybe, you know, let's say when Wall Street started buying, it was at like 50K. So, how much is Wall Street up now? They're up like, I don't know, not much, maybe like 30, 40%. Did they really buy in for this just to get a quick 30%? I don't think so. So I think it's a big mistake to assume that this is a sell the news event. I know a lot of other YouTubers are talking about Bitcoin could crash to 57K, even 49K. But remember, Wall Street got in at 50K. So we know that's a very, very, very strong support level. Okay, it dipped down to 40K, went up to 50K. It's very strong support. I wouldn't necessarily look too much into the sell the news event. I would just like continue trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible, and just let Bitcoin's scarcity and the increased demand for it around the world do the rest. And the third thing I'm going to share in this video is, where is Bitcoin's price going to be after this halving? Well, like I said earlier, a lot of people think we're going to dip down to 50K. A lot of people think we're going to go to 80K. To be honest, guys, looking at a lot of charts and kind of gauging the demand, the crypto greed and fear index is down around 60 now. A lot of that hype that we had back in March has faded. I really think Bitcoin is going to run, and the reason I think it's going to run simply is because once that supply shock hits and the demand from the United States and the Asia ETFs, along with degens like me and some of you guys watching who've been in Bitcoin for a few years, because let's face it, guys, up until January 2024, most of the people holding Bitcoin were not normal people. Normal people started buying Bitcoin in January 2024 through these ETFs and stuff like that. But anyone that's holding this like magical internet money that no one really accepts, you're definitely not a normal person. So I would say this is the first cycle that the majority of normal people are buying it now. And it could be a little risky to just assume it's going to crash. So I'm pretty bullish after this halving. I'm pretty bullish throughout this entire cycle. I'm really excited about these ETFs and what they're going to do. They really should help the price appreciation. So I'm thinking by probably like by the end of April, because April's, historically a pretty strong month for Bitcoin. I think we're going to be touching probably close to, recent highs, probably somewhere around 80,000. And then I think as the weather gets warmer and warmer, I really think we're going to have a really strong summer. Should hit 100,000 six-figure Bitcoin United States dollars by the summertime. So that's just my prediction. I don't think we're gonna dip that much lower. Bitcoin's a scarce, man. Annual inflation is dipping below 1%. I mean, it's just getting harder and harder to accumulate Bitcoin the more expensive it gets. I don't know why anyone would dump it, especially when BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK Invest, MicroStrategy, all of these companies are just buying it up like crazy. What are you going to sell it for? So that's just my opinion, guys. I don't know for sure. Let me know what you guys think about the halving event that's happening today. Like I said, guys, for you guys that were here, for you guys who are into Bitcoin for the previous halving, congrats for holding on this long. If you guys that are new to the movement, welcome, and we'll see what happens, guys. So like I said, the fourth one, pretty exciting news. And like I said, if you enjoy my videos, give me a thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button, and be uploading some more videos, especially during this exciting time into Bitcoin. So like I said, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And until the next video, take care.